Namaste, my name is Rosemara, I'm International Meditation Master. Today I want to speak about 11 questions to create the second you. This is by Clark Keglace. Or Keglace, I don't know, it's K-E-G-L-E-Y, and then, okay. So this is an honest guy, very successful, but after his success and all the other things, he thought, this is not working for me. Judge a man by his question rather than his answers. Absolutely true, no? This is from Voltaire, most people think life is about answers when really it is about questions. If you don't ask the right question, you don't get the answers you need for your life. The greatest minds in history were obsessed with questions. Leonardo da Vinci kept thousands of pages filled with questions. Albert Einstein said, the most important thing is to never stop questioning. The other people think differently. And I want to get their idea. What they think. And then I get new ideas to solve the problem. This is the reason why I ask all the time. Everybody. And you think over, you ask, and in reality, the Lord is answering through this mouth. I'm introvert and asking is for me difficult, but this I have learned. If you want to change the world or change your life, you must first change your question. All the times in my life I have been most dissatisfied, share one commonality. I asked shitty questions. When I was broke, depressed, 30K in debt, living in my mom's basement, I had an extreme victim mindset. This leads to poor questions such as, why does this always happen to me? Or how come they are successful or on YouTube and I'm not? And how come all my relationships end the same way? Reminds it on you. If you believe that thoughts are things, this type of self-talk will reinforce the old version of you. It wasn't until I realized the quality of my life depends on the quality of my questions that my life started to turn around. When I asked the wrong question, I get a poor answer. When I asked the right question, I got a better answer. It's just so damn simple. I'm introvert, okay. We met a car rally and I had to drive and the other guy had to ask. And we got the third place. He asked all the people how to go there, what is this? And he had no shame. He was just smiling and asking. And this had changed my entire life. This rally. Just to be close to a guy who can ask everything. This had changed absolutely my life. From this point on, I knew I have to ask. And I never could end the rally, and never. Because introvert and stumbling and so on. Just ask. It was for me so terribly difficult, but when I saw this guy, after this, I could ask everybody, everything. But it was when I asked the most powerful question possible that the answers were life-changing. Never underestimate the power of having the right question. You have to look for the right question. It's why in my metamorphic coaching program we literally go deeper with questions than any other program I've ever seen. So I'm also a life coach, and as a life coach you have to learn to ask the right question. A life coach never can help you if he's not asking the right question. So because questions have power, to get the most out of this workshop, I recommend copying and answering these questions in your journal. And if you are pressed for time, you may print these out as a standalone sheet, but you will get the most if you physically write your answers in the following question. So you don't have 1 hour time, and I just read them and then record the whole thing, then it's good. If you can block out around 60 to 90 minutes to fully complete this worksheet, the results you get from this worksheet will be more than worth it. Remember, this is not school or something you have to do. This is a worksheet that you must complete out of inspiration, not obligation. Out of inspiration, not obligation. One last thing, there are no wrong or bad answers. The goal with the worksheet is not to use your responses as ammunition to judge or beat yourself up with. Make brainstorming. That said, be as honest and open with yourself as possible and have fun. Remember, questions lead to better thoughts. Better thoughts lead to better action. Better action leads to better results. Which, you guessed it, leads to even better thoughts. The cycle now has positive momentum and you are merging into the second version of you. So there are the 11 best questions for creating the second version of you. For me, this is not the best question. And for you also not. Okay? But it is worth to answer this question. I would ask some more questions, and I would rather get rid of this or 2 questions. But this is all the time. We are not the same person. Okay? But this question will help you. Do not write these off as just overhyped question on a doc. If you use this question literally holds the power to change your life. At least it did for me, refusing to settle. Okay, now comes the first question. How has being realistic or responsible kept me from the life I want? How has being realistic or responsible kept me from the life I want? So you cannot dream, huh? You are responsible. Second question. How can I do my 5-year plan in 5 months? How can I do my 5-year plan in 5 months? You know the 80 to 20 rule? I think it's for over. Okay. Then comes the third question. Imagine 3 people who know everything about you, this means parent, friend, partner, sibling, co-worker, sitting in a room together. They are given 2 hours to come to an anonymous decision on you, top 3 strengths and top 3 weaknesses. What do they come up with? This means what are your top strengths, 3 strengths and the top 3 weaknesses. Think this over. If I had all the time and all the money in the world, what would I do? Meditate, meditate. Okay. Shut up. Fifth, how do I get paid to do what I love? How do I get paid to do what I love? What have been the 3 most defining moments of my life? What have been the 3 most defining moments of my life? Think it over. What past events do you worry about, overthink, or replay in your mind all the time? How do these core stories from your past influence your current self? What has been my greatest lesson learned from failure? Never give up. That I have learned from that. Okay. Design the second you. Design this like a character in a movie, book, video game, etc. What does their life look like? What kind of traits does this character have? Add as much detail as possible. Also, imagine you can create a second you. And then design the character. How this guy will act, like in the movie or book and so on. And describe this character as correct as it is. What are the next best steps to closing the gap between the first me and the second me? For instance, get a coach, start a habit, commit to getting help, etc. If you're not successful, then you need a coach. If you have traumas, you need a coach to go through it. If you have relationship problems, you need a therapist, for instance. And if you're obese, you need to make sport. I think everybody needs to make sport and workouts. You cannot get thin if you just reduce your food. The idea is total nonsense. You start with sport, and then you have less appetite, and so on. For instance, what stood out to you most about this workshop? What big A has or new discoveries do you now have about yourself? When you have done this question, what you discovered from yourself, what was new for you? Okay. Thank you that I could speak about this, and bye.